Hello everybody. Today we are going to be going over some gameplay. We have WombatCombat here, playing against myself in a few custom games. So I'm actually going to speed it up a little bit. This is Trox versus Jerome on Frontier. So I like to do Gen 2nd here and actually only send one grunt to power. That's to far power. Basically that grunt that's gathering your power there by your mini base. I would have been gathering the blue, and then once I'm done with that, move on to the power. But you also should have wiggled that guy. There's really no reason for him to die to a jackrabbit. So yeah, now you should be looking for my next Marine. And yeah, you shouldn't stop to gather supply. You should just keep looking for my Marine. You know, a likely spot would be the bundle of blue by my mini base right next to my base, so that's where you should have gone. And I don't really like buying 3 minis this quickly. I usually just buy 2 and don't buy my 3rd for a long time on this map. And it would have been better to put a raid camp back on that mini in the back of my base. You could have just had a few brutes locked in there, and then when my units are away from my base, unlock it and kill a gen. That's always annoying for a UNSC to deal with because they kind of have to all unit blob around for the most part. And yeah, I would be building choppers. It's hard to kill Jerome without choppers. I think an alternative to the choppers is just going double racks and spamming grunts and brutes with your chosen, of course. But single racks chopper is what I prefer. And yeah, because you've bought 4 minis here, you have nowhere near the pop you need to fight me. And you also went for a very early 2nd gen there. Typically, it's Frontier. The game on Frontier is always going to be determined by how the Tech 1 plays out. And if you're spending that much money that early on building a 2nd gen, then you're not going to have the pop you need. So, early 2nd gen, 4 minis, yeah, you're not going to have the units you need. It took you a while to kill this mini base because you just don't have the brutes you should have. Having a lot of brutes is pretty important. Could have jumped on that to stop the cap. You probably should have not even taken this fight. Seeing as you were on more minis than me, your goal should be to put off the fight for as long as you can, because that gives you more time to get more units. But of course, it's a bit of a window. There's definitely a window, because once I have Mastodons, that's when I get impossible to fight. And yeah, it doesn't work out just because, well, I managed to kill your grunt, so we both killed an infantry unit. That's not really how it should work. It should be the banished can kill, like, both the UNSC Marines and not lose a grunt. That's what you should be aiming for. And, you know, I comfortably bought 2 mini bases and you bought 4. You just didn't have the units you needed. You went for an early 2nd gen. You didn't have a lot of chopper numbers or brute numbers, so that's just what happens. So yeah, I definitely would path 2 grunts to my blue in front of my base. You're against a yap. And probably would open double grunt instead of the double skit because that's 100 more supply and you need that supply to buy your mini bases. I don't really like Gen 4th either. I think you're fine with a Gen 3rd if you do the right thing, which is, you know, build grunts instead of skits. You see, I had vision on that, so if I were to have, like, delayed my generator or something, I could have had that as a consequence of the skits. It also hurts worse to lose a skit than it does to lose a grunt. I think the double gen is fine. But yeah, you're losing 2 grunts, which is okay, but you haven't contested the other far power. Yeah, that grunt over there is gonna die. And you need to be spamming more grunts. You're floating already. And you can queue a turret as well. Again, Expo is okay, but a little later on probably. Just important to get turrets up because you know that I'm gonna send fodder to hit your generators, and if you don't have anything to deal with that, you're gonna lose a gen to a turret drop. And yeah, another thing is, on this map, garrisons are very important. They're all over the place, they give you a lot of vision, and when you're against a yap, they're gonna put fodder in all of them, and it's going to be annoying for you. They're going to be able to see everywhere you go, so you really want to get into the ones that you can. You're also just a bit slow on the nodes. I think you could have already been taking your 2nd. And once you're 25 seconds away from your Tech 2, that's when you blow up a pad to build a raid camp. Like, you could have already had a double raid camp up. Typically, I wouldn't sack, like, 2 pads on this map because you only have 2 mini bases, but since you already have an expo up, you can have a double raid camp up by the time you're Tech 2. You see I have Rangers out, so this probably won't work out for you. And yeah, I do have Please Don't Shoot Me, which was actually a misclick this game. I meant to get Methane Wagon, but it was kind of useful here. You can see the Skits do pretty well against the Rangers, and the Goliaths do as well if you can get into melee range. So, would have been better for you to focus down the Rangers. Because once these heroes are out, the base isn't dying. You're just being slow with the macro, not building on your base there for a while. You lost your drop for nothing, lost a lot of grunts, lost some skits. And yeah, now there's the counter drop and you're dead. So, just have to be faster on the macro, faster on the node taking. Some turrets there also wouldn't have made that counter drop lethal for you. Okay, cutter mirror. Typically I'd say a cutter mirror, they're annoying because it's a kind of a rock paper scissors game. You can spam snipers, you can go hero, you can go jackrabbit. The hero beats the jackrabbit beats the sniper beats the hero. But I think the correct play is sniper, but you just have to scout them appropriately. It's pretty obvious if they're going to go jackrabbit because, you know, they're not going to be on a double gen, they're not going to have an armory, they're going to have all pads, so it's kind of obvious. But what I like to do is double gen, double racks. Just upgrade every pad, spam marine sniper, and that usually works out. So you saw where my rabbit was going. It wasn't really going straight for your back mini, so there's not a point in buying that yet. So I didn't see your rabbit really. I don't think. But I'll like buy that mini base and then sack it before it's done if nothing shows up. Of course, your rabbit showed up, so I didn't cancel it. And you did waste a good amount of time just shooting at a marine not to kill it. You don't want to do that. That's giving me a victory. If you don't kill my marine and you just waste your rabbit's time, that's a pretty important gathering time that you could have had that you don't. So we're gonna split the minis down the middle. And I did go gen 3rd and 5th, so that benefits me. Like if we get an equal amount of minis and it's, you know, defensive kind of placement of the minis, that's obviously better for the double gen player. Yeah, that marine should have just instantly capped the node instead of attacking the sentinel. With cutter, since you have raid, you can just do that. and it's not technically node strat. Node strat is, capping the node without the intention of killing the sentinels. But if you cap the node before killing the sentinels and you end up clearing out the sentinels, that's not node strat. And you should be doing that because you have raid and you want as many power nodes as you can get. You should also be rallying a few marines to the node on your left. That way you could have had 3 nodes already. It's actually feasible to have 4 nodes by 4 minutes as cutter. And if you like build a turret, upgrade a pad, have 4 nodes, you'll have ODST like before this point in the game even. So you see I have snipers. You have the high ground, which is good, but you should be targeting my snipers with your snipers. And when you see all the red lasers on your sniper, that's when you wiggle the sniper. Yeah, you're not clicking on my snipers. There's no point in going mines in a cutter mirror. You see they got nothing done. You'd rather just be a bit faster. Yeah, and that's what happens when you build a hero into a double pump of snipers. This matchup can be a bit more tricky than it seems for Forge, but he should definitely win. Forge beats every UNSC basically through the same method, just out-ecoing them, out-spamming them. The only time I really go Gen 2nd as Forge is if I'm doing like Gen 2nd and 5th, and I'll upgrade my second pad before my second generator. And the Gen 2nd lets you afford that, but I doubt that's what you're gonna do since you already bought a mini. You also didn't open Rabbit, you opened Single Marine. I don't like that. That's just gonna hurt your vision that you're able to get around the map a lot, and also hurt your power pickup. And you're going Hero 5th, which this is okay, but only in a certain circumstance, and that's if you're able to get a mini on either side so that you force me to buy a mini right next to yours, which you're able to do here. That's good. So what you want to happen pretty much is you want me to buy the double mini over there so that you can just instantly run over to it and kill it. Of course, if you buy too many minis, that can be problematic for your plan because, well, you won't have the money to build units. And yeah, you buy 4 minis. Oh, you just sacked it, never mind. Yeah, those units should just be instantly rallying to the double mini. And this is another map where it's important to get the garrisons. Also, because you didn't open Rabbit, you didn't get a scout on me, so you don't know if you need to be building snipers right now. The Forge Hog isn't really adding much shooting here, so it would be better to take a node with that. Kind of silly to blow up your War Council and build a pad. Just wait a few more seconds so that you can sack it and build your second generator. I think just an overall safer way of playing as Forge against UNSC is you just double gen every time and upgrade every pad and build your hero, build Rax units, spam infantry, and just smother them with it. Because you're going to have a bigger eco than them, but here we're going to trade double minis. I have the money to expo because I didn't buy as many mini bases, and I also went double gen off rip. And now you're building snipers, but it's a bit late. And ultimately it's just going to keep you on Tech 1 for longer. As you can see, I already have the Tech 2 Douglas. And even though he's already weak because his shield was taken off, I get away. So that pretty much makes your investment in all these snipers kind of more harmful than anything. And this is a cardinal sin. Cardinal Forge sin is the Tech 1 Scatter Bomb. That's 275 power. It's honestly a double cardinal sin because 1, you don't use Scatter Bomb on bases, and 2, you don't Scatter Bomb on Tech 1. Especially if you're Tech 1 and they're Tech 2. And now you're getting Grenade Throw, so you're going to be Tech 1 even longer. Like, this is not a situation where you're setting yourself up to win. You're setting yourself up to lose right now. So, yeah, another thing is, since you've just taken no nodes, your leader point progress is not so good. You haven't built any turrets, so that also hurts you. Usually at this point in the game, Forge should already have Kodiak drop. And if you had Kodiak drop here, this actually could be a good push. But without it, you're just floating 1700 supplies. That's doing nothing for you. So you should at least be like spamming Marines, although I already have Dispersion before you're even Tech 2. That's not a good sign at all. There's no point in not slapping down 2 more turrets. You have Grizzly Battalion money, and you're not even at 4th point. That's a true Liam moment. Yeah, you should sack something to build a second garage immediately. Good. Double garage, Gales, upgrade your hero, and yeah, 3rd gen, but I would have made the 3rd gen a bit less of a priority because you really need units. You're at 15 pop and you have all this money that you're not spending. By this time, it should be obvious you shouldn't bother going Kodiak drop. Just get accelerated assembly, so you're paying more for hogs than you need to right now. Kodiak drop's not going to do much against the Sentinel. The Sentinel is imminent at this point because I have nodes, you don't. I have more minis than you. I've had an expo much longer than you. So the Sentinel's coming in like 20 seconds. you're just way too underpopped to deal with this. By this point, Forge needs to be on 80 pop or more. But you just got super out-teched because of your decisions. So I think this is the correct pathing with the fodder. That would be what I do, but once again, I still don't like Gen 4th. The only time I'd go Gen 4th with Yap is if I open Chopper and drop a mine. If I open Chopper and don't drop a mine, I'm still Gen 3rd. If I open Fodder and drop a mine, I'm still Gen 3rd. And yeah, that's also not how you want to use the mine, because I'm just ignoring it. I'm not going to set it off. I'm still gathering the power, so you just hurt yourself with that. What you need to do is after you take that mini on your right there, send that fodder instantly to my garrison. And if I'm in the garrison clearing out the power node, you drop the mine on the garrison. And if I'm not in the garrison, you just put your fodder in the garrison. And you can mine the node if you want to. That makes it really annoying for me. But yeah, your power situation is not good at all here. Because you dropped that mine and you didn't get anything for it, so there's no compensation. You should be spamming fodder out of all of these mini bases. Upgrade your gen. And I would go double racks here. Like, on one of these side minis, there should have been a racks. Because it's pretty obvious I'm going to build Goliaths. And Riders do quite well against Goliaths. And yeah, this fodder should just be getting in all the garrisons. This fodder here is wasting its time. That's not enough to clear out a node. You need to be spamming more. Chopper. You're at 600, 700 supply, 800 supply. Like, you can take a second to go do a macro cycle. And yeah, now you're not gonna have anything to defend the minis on your own side because you're sitting there staring at your two choppers instead of building more. Once again, just not spending your money. You could at least be building turrets, a second gen. There's no point in floating this much. Should have also been upgrading your pads. And now you're dead. You just don't have the units you should have. Don't have the eco you should have. And I think it's you can probably get away with playing Chopper there, but I would rather double racks because Rider also kills Goliaths, and they kill Goliaths and they kill buildings too, so it's just better. I think this matchup is rough, but, you know, not unwinnable. Should probably be going, like, double gen hero racks, trying to get up an expo. Or I think a hero 5th can work as well, but you're gonna have to really secure the nodes if you do that. Like trying to get a quick 3 nodes and make sure you hold on to them, but that's tough. I think UNSC in general is tough on this map because of the pathing situation. I think what I prefer to do is to go Gen 2nd, open single Marine, send both my starting Marines to power, one to the middle power and one to my own power. So that makes it so that the chopper has to decide which one to go to, and you're guaranteed to get power. And if you don't see the chopper at your power, you have to send your Marine to your back mini and get vision on it at 1 minute and 14 seconds, because that's when the chopper's going to get there. But yeah, you've just kind of done a shitty build. No hero 5th, just a pad 5th. Didn't really get much power at all. Oh, and you lost your back mini. And lost 2 Marines, which losing 2 Marines sometimes is just inevitable, but you want to at least get something for it, and you did not. You lost your mini, didn't get power, no double gen, no hero 5th. And so yeah, you should have like a hero and Rax units, but you're just being you're not gonna have what you need to fight. And now you're now you sack your pads to build them, but it's extremely late at this point. So, but by the time you're building your armory and your racks, I'm building my expo. That's obviously not good for you. By now, you want your hero out taking nodes. You want snipers out to prevent the Chosen from running up on you and deter jump pack brutes and help you maintain node control. By now, you want your 2nd gen. By now, you want to think about expoing, but you have your 2nd gen. It's not upgraded though. And you don't have the money to expo, so you're just behind, a lot behind.
We come and we go like the ripple on the stream.
Yeah, you can see I have like 3 nodes by the time you have 1.
So love me tonight. Tomorrow was made for some.
You're kind of letting a bunch of irrelevant grunts pull you to the corner of the map. You need to get a handle on the nodes, but that's not very realistic if your army isn't centralized. So you could have built a few flamers to clear out minis, but having your whole army, hero and marines and snipers, everything over there to clear a mini is just tying you up and giving me a free hand to do what I want. So that means, yeah, jump pack brutes are gonna be on your minis, gonna be on your main soon. You need to be centralized and catching these things as they run across the map if you can. Having a few rabbits is good to help get them off your minis, but you're just a bit late on that. And you're just all uniting to deal with something that you're just going to be too slow to actually do anything about. So effectively wasting your time there. So now you have one mini, no expo, no nodes, one turret. One turret's not going to be enough. That expo's too late, it's not going to get up. See, I have a Tech 2 chosen, so your snipers, once again, really missed their window of opportunity to kill the hero, and I have Dark Skies as well on your base, so this is when you should quit. Okay, so Gen first, obviously not good. Opening with no grunts, also obviously not good. Yeah, this build is a meme. Really, it's the UNSC who should be afraid of getting double bot, but because of the build you're doing, you're going to be the one who gets double bot. I think if you want to go for an early hero, you should do hero 4th and Rax 5th and just walk across the map with it. That can punish someone who double buys you, but even that can be held. Should sack that for Rax, not a pad. Should be spamming grunts, upgrading another pad. Right now you should have enough grunts to start taking a node with, but you're just not spending your money. And you don't get the gen for all that. Which you, of course, can go back and kill it, but time is of the essence when you've put yourself in this bad of a situation.
Like the ripple on the stream.
But yeah, you need turrets, upgrade another pad, more grunts, more JPB. Need nodes. You should have had like 2 nodes by now, at least. Kind of a big reason why Shipmaster's good. Elite grunts and raid. upgrade another pad, and then I don't really like the Suies. Should be more brutes, and then blow up your raid camp for a second gen and trying to get a corner expo. But yeah, you absolutely need nodes. Expoing before your second gen, I generally don't like as a rule of thumb. And yeah, you just cleared out that mini and let me have it again and are losing all your brutes, so this is where it's pretty obviously all over. Just look how far behind you are in leader points, and been behind in minis the whole game, behind in gens. And yeah, you blew up your pad instead of your racks, so your blue income is horrible. Kill my other mini base, but still can't afford to buy it from me, so I just get it back again. You never want to be on just 2 pads like this. This is pretty bad. And yeah, your hero dies. So, I think that's where you should have quit. Like, maybe if you were hitting Tech 2 right now and you kept your hero healthy, that could have been some kind of, you know, something. But even then, it's a very big hill to climb out of this one. By now I'm building Kodiaks out of my mini to your right. So the idea would be that you're able to keep up the corner expo because you have an army that can attack me in different places and pull me around and make it so I can't push you, but can't do that if you don't have units. And that beam was obviously just horrible. Oh, I guess that was the last one. Yep. Okay, well, I hope not just Wombat, but other people are able to learn a little bit from this. I think most of the mistakes were macro mistakes. You know, need to work on the macro cycles, upgrading pads, when to build a second gen, paying attention to how many pads you have, do better builds, take nodes faster, be a bit faster in general. Yeah. So, some of that is just mechanics, but you can improve that over time. So hope everybody got something from this.